Hello, Ray Phoenix here, welcome to Let's Play Ape Escape, Part 13. So last time, as we know, we brought Jake back from the dark side, and he's on our side once again. And now there's Natalie, we rescued Natalie, and we rescued Dr. Phil. So now it's time to go to Specter's castle. I think they really should have put this in a separate level, a different level. This level is already too damn long as is, so we're going to go to Specter's castle. I wonder what it's going to be like. It's probably going to be scarier than that one he had in medieval times, because now he's in the present day, the future, and whoa.
Huh? What? The castle's flying!
Well, there's Specter's new castle for you. It's in space, apparently. We're going to be going into space. Woo! We probably did that so we can't easily enter the castle or something like that. It doesn't really make much sense why you would do something like that. I mean, okay, it does on his part make sense you do that because that way it makes it harder for us to get to him unless we have a means of getting into space, which I don't think we have a spaceship with us last time I checked. We don't have any kind of, like space kind of braided orbit or craft or something like that could be used to get us into space. But I believe there's a monkey hiding around here somewhere. Or at least something probably even more important than a monkey, like a Specter Coin or something like that. It involves us climbing up these metal panel things and they're built into the side of the mountainside. So let's run and find... Oh, look, I think there he is. There's the monkey you've been looking for stuck here. He's probably going to kill us or something like that because he has that gun or something like that. And look, he's running away from us like a coward, which is actually a pretty good thing to do if you see Spike, is to run away. Oh, and look at that! There's something even more important. There's something better than a monkey on top of that thing. It's a Specter Coin. Yep, yet another Specter Coin once again. Look at that. You caught almost half the monkeys in the game and captured half the Specter Coins. So I think this thing's a transporter beam or something like that. Since our transporter is going to take us somewhere. And this transporter thing is going to take us to... Oh, look at that. We're at Specter's castle. I wonder what the point of sending into space was if he just put a transport there so we could get to it anyways. Wasn't the point of sending into space so we can't easily get to it? Yeah, that's Spectre. He has a pretty odd sense of, how to build things, an odd sense of defense. He should have just locked his castle and made no way to get into it. So that way we could have, that way we would have been stuck and we never would have succeeded for a plan or something like that. But that's Spectre. Something tells me he wants us to win. I know I keep saying that, but, that's how game villains always are. They kind of want you to win to some extent. I definitely got that vibe with Jumping Flash when we fight against Bear and Aloha. Ooh, Monkey activated the switch. It's gonna do something. And epic music begins to play. Ooh, epic music. I love this music. This is probably my favorite music in the entire game. For some reason, this music is referred to as Welcome for some reason. It's kind of weird, but I wonder where they got that name from. Welcome. They should have called it Monkey Madness Part 2 or Spectreland Part 2 or Specter's Fortress Castle or something like that, but no, they just simply call it Welcome. Why they call it that, I have no idea. And to this day, I still have no idea why they did any of that at all. So now we're going to take this Slingback Shooter and shoot it at that switch thing, and then we could then activate that door down there, so we can jump out into that door and capture that monkey that was there. We got another Specter Coin while we're at it, too. There's a monkey. Let's go and capture him, and I'm not sure there's any more monkeys hiding in this place, but we got that monkey that we needed. And now that he flipped that switch, it alerted all the other monkeys in this area to our presence. There's probably going to be more monkeys when we come back out now, too. the whole station's been alerted. So now they know that we're here, so we could, get ourselves killed or something like that. Or worse, maybe we'll get one of those peak point helmet things placed in our heads, and then we'll become one of Spectre's mindless monkeys. It makes sense that they have Spectre do that to people too. I wonder if the helmets could work on more than just monkeys. It makes sense they could work on people too. Then you could take over the world by taking over people, by brainwashing people, hypnotizing people, and having them work for Spectre. Since they'll make Spectre's goal to rule the world a lot easier. That actually does make a lot of sense. Spectre really was as smart as you think he is. He probably could build something that could manipulate people. He kind of does that in the third game, and he already did it in this game too, to Jake, so it makes sense that he would do it to more people, like government officials maybe. Maybe he could do it to George W. Bush or something like that. I think we need to use homing missiles here so we can get a good shot on that flying saucer thing that's just buzzing around, the flying saucer. And because the flying saucer is still the same as they always are, pretty much. We just have to shoot them with the slingshot shooter. I think we might be able to get this one if we stand far in the distance and time our shots properly. There's a lot of stuff like this in Zelda a lot too, where you have to wait for things to get into position and then shoot the slingshot shooter or the bow arrow or whatever you get. I think Kid Link had a slingshot shooter, but the adult Link uses a bow and arrow. At least that's what I remember for that game. I haven't played those Zelda games, those N64 Zelda games, in a very long time. I mostly know them from more recent years, and I watched Terry Garrett play for them. And he's pretty much a master at those games, I guess you could say that. He's one of the best masters I know of at Zelda. And so we just got a new one up. We have 14 lives. That's not the last life we're going to earn. We're going to be earning way more. This game, even though we're at the end of the game or nearing the end of the game, the game is still going to be way too overly generous with giving us new lives. So you see now we caught those two monkeys. That door activates so we could get inside the Spectre's new fortress. And look, not surprising, there's those spinning metal things that are going to be spinning around. Let me get revenge on them for what they've done to us throughout this LP. Yeah, take that. And look, they gave us a lot of cookies. Yeah, it's like they're giving us compensation or something like that for all those times they screwed us over. Literally, 'cause they screw around and they hit us. There's all sorts of doors here. There's walls that look like doors, things that look like they could be doors and stuff like that, or things that don't even look like doors, but they are doors. There's hidden entrances, hidden things. This level's full of it. There's so much hidden crap in this level. It could take years just going through this level. I still wouldn't have found everything. It took me years to find absolutely everything in this level. And up here, as you can see, it's locked up here with that with the electric field. So you have to go under here and deactivate that electric field, and then all that will open. And in the meantime, of course, there's going to be a lot more monkeys hiding under here. There's a hidden monkey we're about to get right now too. You could easily get the slingshot. You have to use one of those higher powered and the special powerful slingshots. We're out of special slingshots now. So what you have to do now is you have to pretty much jump up there and get that monkey that's hiding behind that thing we just blew down, that red light on that monkey's peak point helmet. So look at that, another one-up. More proof that the game is being way too generous. This game is very generous of a game. Well, then again, a lot of games this modern age do that. I mean, back in the NES days, games were very unforgiving back then. You only get a few lives, you lose all those lives, it's game over. You can't play, you have to start from the game. The Sega Genesis era was like that too. But by the time we got to the PlayStation era, things started to get way easier, I think. Things started to get extremely easier to a point where it's like, it's like a kid could do this. Heck, even a monkey could play for this game. No pun intended. A monkey could even play for this game and win an easy victory because of how easy they make games. And it gets even worse in today's era. I hear a lot of today's newer games, a lot of games that kids play these days are actually getting easier and easier and stuff like that. So easy, in fact, that kids these days, they don't know what a real challenge in video games is. They probably say a game like this is a really big challenge. But I don't think this game is much of a challenge at all, only because I'm just way too good at it. I played this game for years. I know this game pretty well overall. I'm pretty familiar with it. So it's going to chase after a monkey. It's in one of those segments where we have to use the RC car. I have to chase after the monkey and it scares him kind of thing. I bet there's some kids today who say Jumping Flash is an extremely difficult game when I think it's one of the easiest games ever. And then these kids these days, the type of difficulty you'd seen in an NES game or Sega Genesis or SNES game, that's inconceivable to a lot of modern kids these days. I can't imagine what it's like to be a modern kid these days. They say kids these days have it good, but really, I wouldn't want to be a kid these days. I actually think they have it bad, knowing that they get everything from all the information in the universe can be at their fingertips, because they were born with the internet. If they were even more internet savvy, they would have internet chips planted into their brains so they could access the internet at any given time, anywhere, at any place. The future probably is going to be like that. Probably going to have chips placed in our brains at some point in time, allow us to browse here. Oh, and look what we just got yet again. Another 1-up. Yup, another 1-up. Why am I not surprised? This game's just throwing them at us. And so there's that robot thing that's going to be flying around, shooting at us. No surprise, there's those things again, more enemies lying around. Because they always like to make this as challenging as possible, especially those screwy enemies that make everything a lot more. They're probably one of the most challenging regular enemies in the game. Regular enemies that aren't bosses or anything like that. And if you fought about bosses, well, there's going to be some more bosses. Ooh, picked up that 1-up and we fell back down again. That's really annoying by itself. You keep trying to pick up something and you end up falling back down again. And then you have to run up there. It doesn't take very long to run up there though. Still, we did it so we could get that 1-up. And because we don't have enough 1-ups already, it's 1-ups galore. We have way too many. We keep getting so many. We just keep getting too many 1-ups. There's always 1-ups in this game. This game's likes giving it to you the most. I think the sequels are kind of like that too. Well, it's just a general thing in the Ape Escape series. In fact, Jumping Flash is kind of like that too. You're constantly winning new lives in the original Jumping Flash and Jumping Flash 2. But then again, in that game, you have a limit of up to 9 lives. You can only keep a maximum of 9 lives. A lot of games put limits to 9 lives or something like that. So I think if you get too many lives, if the game let you have more than just that small amount of lives, then the game would be too easy. They should have done something like that in this game. It would make the game a bit harder. But then again, some games, like a lot more newer games, give you a maximum up to 99 lives. And heck, even Pac-Man World 2, you have over 100 lives in that game. I would play that game for hours on it. I always play the Avalanche level, and always would do that just so I could get more and more lives, grind for more lives. So it makes it easy to fight the final boss and beat the final boss, which I did a long time ago. I beat that game a long time. I might do a Let's Play of that game eventually. I might do a Let's Play of Pac-Man World 2 eventually. I think I'll see if I get an ISO image of that game. Probably for GameCube or something like that. The game, so far, I think out of that generation of PS2, Xbox, and GameCube, the one that my computer my HP laptop seems to emulate the best, seems to be GameCube. GameCube in general actually emulates better than PS2, which is actually quite a surprise. Something I wasn't really expecting from a PC like this. I actually expect PS2 to be an easier system to emulate, but no, it actually seems to be GameCube. At least does a better job at emulating GameCube. I prefer to get GameCube versions of games. So we captured yet another monkey, of course still showing Spectre's face in the bottom right hand corner, reminding us that Spectre is in this level and we have to capture him. So we finally made it through this whole dog's breakfast of a structure, and now we're finally going to go outside into space. If we could walk around the Ice Age without wearing a snowsuit or any of that, it makes perfect sense we could walk out in space, right? Where we could see the Earth below. It's supposed to be Earth below us. If we fall back to Earth. We're probably going to burn up. And then again, knowing this game's logic, that's probably not going to happen. We're probably just going to get returned back to where we were before we fell. Knowing how this game works. So you see you're throwing that spike ball around, you have to jump over. It's really easy to jump over all these things if you use the Sky Flyers. You can see I'm using right here too. Sky Flyers are a really good gadget to have. Allows you to pretty much fly over things, as we all know way too well. It very well is the best gadget in the game, or at least one of the best gadgets in the game. So you see, we use that RC car to bring us up here, and then we could probably jump across and fly. And look at that, another Specter Coin and a monkey, our two favorite things. We'll capture the least favorite thing first, which is the monkey, and then we can capture our favorite, the Specter Coin. So after this level, we'll probably for sure have unlocked the Galaxy Monkey minigame, which is by far the best minigame in the entire game. So we've still got, quite a few monkeys left. We're going to get the majority of the monkeys in this run. Most monkeys in this level can be captured on the first run, but of course not all of them. There's at least one monkey in this game. It's not possible, in this level, it's not possible to get on the first run of the level. So you see below us, there's a monkey route right down there. Just actually kind of where we started, actually. It's actually that's actually the front entrance where we started. So we caught that monkey. Now we're supposed to hit something with the Slingback Shooter here, so we could just equip the Slingback Shooter. It's kind of hard to hit from up here. It looks very small in the background, but we got in and it activates that thing so we could climb up there. Then I think we have to jump back all the way up here and climb here again. It's also a bit like Donkey Kong in a way. You know, like those Donkey Kong games in the early 80s where you play as Mario and you have to run through a simple level. But it seems simple, but really it's actually quite complex. There's like things you could jump over and things you could run past and you have to worry about getting killed. Yeah, that's just, that's how it is. You have to be concerned about getting killed or stuff like that in those games, especially because one hit kills you, and you can even get killed just from falling from such a great height, because Mario is that wimpy. You can see Mario still takes damage in the later games, like in Mario 64 and stuff like that, but he wasn't as wimpy in that game as he was in some of the other ones. And so I think we're nearing the end of this level now, actually. We're actually getting close to the end. This level's actually not as long as I thought it was. I thought this level would be super long, but again, it already was kind of long at first, considering the fact we had to rescue the Natalie and the Dr. Phil, and then we had to get Jake back on our side. So yeah, it might very well be one of the longest final levels in video game history, at least in this era of gaming, that is, considering that this was made well after the NES era of games. So let's go and stop that little saucer thing there, that nice little blue saucer, so we can ride on it to this part here. We're probably gonna have to flick another switch, because you can probably figure out how the formula of this game works. You run to one end, flick a switch, or hit a button, or hit something, and then you have to run all the way back and hit another button again, or something like that, or find a door that takes you something, so you can hit something there, and then run to another place. There's a clear formula in all this. I think we have to destroy this thing too if we want to progress, but these are pretty much just a high-powered enemy, pretty much this. And we saw a very similar version of this in the City Park level, if you remember. He's a wuss. Just run away from him for a little bit. Let him shoot his World War II flamethrower thing, and then we could give him a few hits. Like, he's already smoking up, and look at that. We just destroyed him easy, and we got another one up for that. We had like 13 lives when we started this video, and now we have 21. Holy crap, we gained 8 lives just in this one video. This has to be some sort of record for how many lives we earned in a single video. And now that we activated that painting, it opens up, the magical painting, it opens up, we can enter that magic painting. It'll take us to what's supposed to be the final boss of the game. And the game is nice, not making us go for all this crap again, so it's actually going to take us right back to the main foyer. We'll take on the last boss in the next video. This is Ray Phoenix, signing out.